buying that Switch 2? Why I'm not buying that Switch 2? Why I'm not buying that Switch 2?
Why I'm not buying the Switch 2? It's me, Game Genie. Have a look. £1 Switch. Have a look. £1 Switch. 2 per person, £1 each. Everyone wants the Nintendo Switch.
Right now, said the Indian guy. The Switch 2's sitting on his desk. Now let me explain, okay? Let me explain myself real quick.
Here we go.
I actually had no intentions of picking this device up.
Oh, really? Is that why it's in your hand, brother? Matter of fact, why is your table a mess, bro? There's kids watching! What's going on here, man? This dude got a whole weapon on his table. Man, listen. You know, it seemed like he tried to hide the evidence. That's why he goes as far to tell people like, hey, I'm sorry that I had it in the frame. You know, that's crazy that the only reason as to why you apologizing, bruh, some ordinary gamer, is the fact that you got caught.
But surprisingly, Nintendo has done a pretty good job. Was that a voice crack? God damn, am I slipping through people? Jesus. But actually, no intention. Surprisingly, Nintendo has a pretty decent stock pool of these things. I actually called up a EB Games near my place, probably like 20 minutes away.
So then why did you do that? Why would you call for something if you ain't gonna pick it up, bro? Like, that's crazy. I don't care if you didn't have it pre-ordered, but the fact that, you know what? Let's get into this next video. Hold on.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and let's just talk about it, ladies.
I thought your name was Mustafa.
Ladies and gentlemen, I made a mistake. I ended up buying that Nintendo Switch 2, even though
You want to call this a mistake? No, you know what's funny? This wasn't a mistake, bro. You just didn't care. You got caught. And guess what? Your audience, they called you out for it, and rightfully so. You know what? Gamester with another W. I'm so happy that the YouTube community finally spoke against a content creator such as yourself, because let's just be honest. There's so many of you guys hating on the Nintendo Switch 2, but yet for some reason you continue to buy one, which only shows your own hypocrisy. But yet Mustafa here wants to call it a mistake. Well, explain this, okay? You said that you went and called, right? You did not once think to yourself, like, hold on, I can't do this to my audience. I promised them. You know, it's me, Game Genie, right? Oh, no, you went and did it. You know, matter of fact, you got your wallet. You got your keys. Matter of fact, you called them. You got in the car. You drove there, even had your brother. You sat in line. You showed up. You picked it. You paid with your credit card. You walked out with it. You didn't return it. You brought it home. You put Cyberpunk in the system with the cartridge. I mean, you did a lot of mistakes, man. Y'all like, whoa, GameStop, I love the way you broke that down. So for you to sit there and call this a mistake, I can't necessarily say that. A mistake is like me putting something in the oven and I was doing something, I forgot it, and now it's burnt. But there were so many different situations where you could have said to yourself, I can't do this. I can't do this. You know, you was probably driving in your car, listening to £1 Switch. Never have a look, £1 Switch. 2 per person, £1 each, and you walked out the store with it. As far as I'm concerned, that's way too many mistakes for you to call that a genuine mistake.
Said that I was going to hold off. I wasn't just going to go buy it outright.
Yep.
And there I was.
You bought right into the FOMO.
It's going on a midnight release, and I ended up picking it.
And you even went at midnight when it launched. Now we don't even know if you had it pre-ordered. Now, you know what? Your audience is like, I don't know if I could trust you, man. It was crazy. You were a pretty big content creator, and you really thought you was going to get away with it. Oh, maybe my audience might forget. But no, they were like, yo, bro, what's up with this? And rightfully so. Your audience has every right to be angry, considering that you tell people, you know, now mind you, I have no problem with your opinion changing. Okay, but the fact that you're trying to hide it, oh, I shouldn't have had it in the frame of the video. And on top of that, you went home, you played it, you had it in the frame. That's another mistake. And then you uploaded. Like, you self-incriminated yourself, man. You could have put it away just like you got that pistol there. But no, you didn't do that. You left it right there on the table. The evidence. This is crazy, man.
You know, just on a walk-in. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there's no way to sugarcoat or cut around this. I did, in fact, commit a hypocrisy. I made a mistake. I should have not bought...
How is it a mistake, though, bro? Like I said, there's 20 times you could have thought to yourself that I can't do this to my audience. Let's just be honest. You're only calling it a mistake or apologizing because you got caught in the act. That is all it is, man. And you've seen the backlash of your audience. So you said, you know what? I gotta do the right thing and apologize. But if you hid it underneath a table and nobody knew about it, I don't think you would honestly care. And the funny thing is, I'm going to have something funny at the end of the video. So don't get it twisted, guys. It's just for the sole purpose of the video. But I think you guys are going to have a really good laugh with it. But go ahead, Mustafa.
Now, I made a few videos on the Switch 2. Well, not a few, several. And I've basically covered it. I've not been the most positive viewer of it, especially around certain things like those game key cards, and especially about their TOS, when apparently it seems like they can just brick your systems, and more specifically around the fact that maybe the system is in fact a brick when you ended up picking it up. And as you all know, yesterday I made a pretty big mistake.
Stop calling it a mistake, man. How many, bro? Like I said, bro, you grabbed your wallet, you grabbed your keys, you drove in the car, you got your brother, you lined up as soon as the system was launched at midnight, like you said. You waited in line for it. You got it. We don't know if you pre-ordered, but that'd be an additional mistake to all the other several mistakes that you've made. How are you going to call this a mistake? Because the last time I checked, a mistake is usually just one, maybe 2 or 3 times. But you made countless, bro. And on top of that, you swiped your card. You walked out the store when you could have returned it while you was there and said, I can't do this to my audience. Let me bring it back. Nope. You went back in your car and you did the same old steps as to how you got there at whatever, GameStop or wherever you picked it up. That is not a mistake. And what's even more of a mistake, and then you put it on the cartridge. You put the game in the cartridge. You know everything that you was doing. The issue is that you gave into the temptation. How come you can't just be honest about that? Just say, I gave it to the FOMO, I gave it into the temptation, and that is it. But all this stuff that you blabbered about, bro, we all know that is exactly what you did.
I actually made a video with the Switch 2 inside the actual frame. I actually had one on screen. I bought one. I used it to play Cyberpunk 2077 on it.
See? Because you had it on screen. And people's like, hold on, didn't you say that you was against it? So all this is very disingenuous. Now, if you started the video and say, hey, guys, I've said a lot of bad stuff about the Switch. As you guys can see, there's a Switch 2 in the background. Then I don't think, you know what's funny? I don't even think people would have a problem with your video. I don't even think people would even call you out. People might not be happy about it, but people would be like, oh, he's not hiding nothing. He's not hiding anything. He's being upfront and honest with his audience, like how most content creators should be. But nope, this is not what we get in this community. We get a bunch of grifting, lies, deceptions, people being deceived. And this is why, as a YouTube community, people have lost trust in content creators, and rightfully so.
Now, the reason why this is a pretty big mistake, and I do absolutely believe I should actually apologize to my audience, is...
So you want to apologize to your audience because you got caught. Okay, Mustafa.
I didn't practice...
just like I said, just go on the carpet, man. Like, the more and more this man keeps making videos on this, the more and more he keeps embarrassing himself, man. Like, the fact that you got to apologize for picking up a piece of electronic just goes to show you that you, right there alone, shows you that you're not disingenuous. It shows you that you're disingenuous.
What I preached, I said, you should vote with your wallet, and what did I do? I straight up charged my card and got the Switch 2. And for that, it's actually a pretty big apology. Like, there's no way to really say anything. There's no really any way to sugarcoat it. It's an actual mistake.
It's not a mistake, bro. Why you keep calling it a mistake, bro? Like I said, you even said you swiped your card, you took it home, you put the game in the cartridge, you didn't return it, you opened it up. Bro, how many mistakes do you need for one person to get it right? Okay? No, you gave it to the temptations, you bought into the FOMO, you picked it up, you're probably more likely enjoying it because you did say you like Cyberpunk, and there it is. So it just goes to show you that all the videos that you made prior on it weren't legitimate. That's all it is.
Sit and blame other people, but ultimately, I think the community kind of made it known that I would be one of those gamers that would fall into FOMO,
and that's exactly what you did.
Even though that I don't personally think that I'm the reason that video games have just gotten more expensive.
Oh yeah, I'm not the reason why, guys, but yet I paid $80 for that Mario Kart World and said I wasn't gonna buy the Switch 2 because it was anti-consumer, but I did anyway.
Ultimately, the actions that I did do contribute to the fact that video games would have gotten more expensive.
I wouldn't say that, because at the end of the day, it's just one sucker, okay? I mean, like I said, it is in a way, but somebody would have walked out with it either way. Like, it's like, I can't stand Call of Duty, but that's not going to stop that game from being within the top 10 charts of every single platform. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's more than just one person, but it's a collective amount of you guys that give into this FOMO that is causing the problems within our industry.
Or at least the aspect of it would become more normalized. And ultimately, there's really no other way to, just apologize and say that I'll do better moving forward,
And how do we know that? His way of doing better is still buying into the FOMO and just making sure that he doesn't upload a video on it or, hides it from the camera. Like, bro, at this point, I don't think people can trust you.
To be fair, the biggest sigh of relief for me is to sit over here and apologize for purchasing a video game system, right? There's a lot of things that a YouTuber can do that would be very illegal, very wrong, ethically, not even just legally, that I could sit down here and apologize for. And that is the only thing that
But I don't like your apology. I don't like it, because I would have preferred if you came out and say, hey, guys, I had a change of heart. I bought it. It's the fact that you wasn't being authentic, bro. It's the fact that you wasn't being real is the reason why people have a problem with this. Now, mind you, people are going to still be upset about it. But at the end, it's the way you presented yourself, my brother. Like I said, if I tell people, hey, guys, I'm going to go get a Switch 2, I just want to see. Because I even brought up a thing in my thing. I was like, hey, I should have got one because I would have been able to do some backwards compatibility testing for y'all if I had one. Unlike these other channels like MVG. No, I'm sorry, I almost said MVG. And, display showing, getting people information. But even then, I said I can't support it. I can't directly give my money to Nintendo. Maybe as time goes on, who knows? But as of right now, no, not currently. I'm sorry.
Really thank God today for not doing. I could apologize for far more worse, but, realistically, it's just apologizing for purchasing the system that, I kind of made a big
and you purchased the game for it.
Hullabaloo about, right? And obviously, gaming boycotts are something that, unfortunately, traditionally do not work, just because people end up buying them. And in this case, I was one of those people.
Yeah, now, which also means that you can't critique any of the other people that you have done, because I remember seeing some of your old videos of critiquing other people for giving into the FOMO, but yet you did the same exact thing as them.
I do want to kind of defend myself a little bit and just kind of talk about this.
Hey, no. Defend yourself in what?
Because I don't want to just say that, I don't want to just say sorry. I do want to give an explanation.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that night I was coming home, bought a Switch, and one of the reasons I wanted to buy the Switch is to kind of look at that brick capability.
Oh, here we go again. Oh, I want to. No, cut it. No. Are you breaking your Switch? You're not doing that. There's a guy in this community that is going out there. I found out from some other content creators that is actually buying the Switch 2 to hack it, right? That's different because we already see the purpose of what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's trying to hack the Switch, he's trying to get into their system or whatever. And that's different. So you said you wanted to try out the bricking capabilities. Okay, so do everything that Nintendo doesn't want you to do, which is share your games. Why are you using the Switch 2 within Nintendo's policy? You think Nintendo's gonna brick your system for you going out there like a dummy buying it and then buying the games for it? You're doing everything. You know what's funny? This is the only excuse that you could actually have. Oh, I bought the Switch 2 and I tried to see if I could run Cyberpunk on it for free to test out its bricking capabilities. You did everything Nintendo wanted you to do within their policy, and you're talking about I wanted to try out, bro. So you're not looking good, bro.
You're not looking good. Obviously, that night I was coming home, bought
You're not
the Switch,
looking good, bro.
And one of the reasons I wanted to buy the Switch is to kind of look at that brick capability.
We all know that's a lie.
I wanted to see if you can fire the system up. You can make a.
I mean, it's pretty obvious if you buy a system, you're gonna fire it up. I mean, what, bro? Come on.
Local account.
Stop making these videos, bro.
Connect without utilizing any patches, and thankfully you actually can.
You lied to yourself because guess what? You're lying because they already came out, bro. You was lying, bro. Bro. The more he keeps talking about this, the worse and worse it keeps getting for him. There's already videos out of people not being able to play their Switch until June 5th because they had to do what, guys? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. Updating it to online. Every single Switch launch model has to be updated online for you to access the Switch. That's why people couldn't play Switch 1 games on it. And you're sitting here telling us that it's the complete opposite? You're a liar.
As long as you have a Switch 2 and, of course, a game, which this is something that I'm...
That's not true! Because people bro... Oh, y'all like game stuff. Make sure y'all share this video around. Make sure you let everybody in the community knows as to what's going on here. You are a liar because people had the games And what happened to the people that had the games for their Switch 2, guys? Oh, that's right. They couldn't use them until when? June 5th. As to when you picked. Y'all like, woo, GameStop. I'm telling you, man, GameStop with another W.
Actually keep in stock or not just actually had a Cyberpunk 2077. As long as you have a game with an actual, completed update on the cartridge, this system is completely...
But you just said you could play it without the update.
...usable offline, which was pretty important.
An update has to be done online. You just said it... Hold on, what? I'm confused. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh,
as long
okay.
as you have a game with an actual, completed update on the cartridge...
completed update on the cartridge. Okay, I got you.
It's completely usable offline, which was pretty important to me because I didn't want to see another system release as a pure-on brick. So as long as you have a system with another system release as a pure-on brick, so as long as you have a system with, again, a video game, it seems things can just work out of the box.
That's not true, because the other countless videos that had Switches before you even had one couldn't even launch the games until the launch date. Matter of fact, they had to update it online just to get the games to work. That's what Nintendo put in place for the hackers that are actually hacking the Switch 2 as I'm speaking right now. You know what, bro? You're like, Gamester, it's done. Stop coming with these videos, Mustafa. It's official. Nothing you say right now is going to stop the criticism that you're getting from these people.
Now, as far as Switch 1 stuff goes, that still needed you to patch.
Okay. So Switch 2 is different. Okay. I'm happy that you brought that up.
For getting the backwards compatibility going in. But if you were just buying Switch 2 games, then surprisingly, everything just worked out of the box.
That to me is still a brick, but okay.
The other thing I wanted to see was, again, the functionality of these games too, especially one game completed on the system. And for that, I played Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, that was a pretty massive section of the video where I just showed the game actually running for anybody to come into the video, watch, and see. Now, I could make the video overly negative, or
You tried to use your platform thinking that your audience would forget, and unfortunately it backfired. So it's nice to see one of these big content creators get humbled for once due to their audience, because I hate to say it, guys, they think you're stupid. They really honestly think you're stupid every time you guys watch their videos and you keep forgetting about all the things that they keep telling you. Okay, but like I said, the way this is starting to happen, now mind you, let's get to the finale for this video. Y'all gonna like, oh! Right, y'all ready for this? All right, this is just a funny segment. Hold on. Oh, man. Hey, listen, I'm just going to tell you guys as to what I was going to do, right? It's too dark. You guys won't be able to see it in the video. I was going to pull up my Switch 1 and make it look like I bought the Switch 2 and then have the voiceover. It's me, Austin, all along. Nah, but I'm just trolling y'all with that, man. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I want to have a special shout out to all the members that continue to support my channel. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by. The videos are only going to get better. But like I said, man, Mustafa, you just stop making these videos, bro. Because every time you talk, you're making yourself sound worse.